Hello, welcome to your channel about conflict resolutions and peace studies. Here we share about the real situation, real case scenarios and field work. And today I am chatting with an amazing, strong woman doing some very important work in the fields of Nigeria. She is
Biola Adimula.
What's your specialty?
I'm a lawyer and a peace scholar. I lecture in the University of Llorin, Nigeria.
She's also a founder and director of the organization
Women and Child Watch Initiatives.
So today we're going to talk about the impact that the terrorist group called Boko Haram have in Nigeria and the thousands of internal displaced people that have been living in the camps right now. So I would like you to please explain to us what these camps look like and also what is gender-based violence.
Thank you very much. Internally displaced persons camp in Nigeria is so vast, and we have a lot of them in the northeast Nigeria. And when you talk of northeast, particularly in Borno State, Adamawa State, and Yobe State, in these places we have like almost 2 million people in internally displaced persons camps, and the situation and the condition is so deplorable. We don't have good houses for them because many of them stay in tents and wooden houses. There's also lack of food and welfare items, and so because of this we also face a lot of people complaining about gender-based violence in the camp. What we mean by gender-based violence is the violence that is inflicted upon somebody, whether a male or a female, simply because of the sex or gender of that particular person. When you talk of women, forced prostitution, sexual violence, sexual assaults, rape, and the like. And for men, especially in conflict situation, we have sex-selective massacre and forced conscriptions. So when you go to IDP camps, you discover that we have more women. The reason is because most of these men have been killed or murdered during the conflict. And in most cases, these women that face GBV, that is gender-based violence, they are being inflicted mainly by the security men that are supposed to provide cover for them. Some of them go out to offer their bodies to the security agents to allow them have enough food to take care of themselves and the family. And these are some of the problems that we face.
Now let me ask you a question. I know that there's supposed to be some kind of response security system that is in place in different countries of Africa that you have been visiting, and I would like to know more, like, when that works, how does it work? Because it's not in place in Nigeria. So I think most people doesn't really know about that and how it works. So could you explain a little bit about this kind of emergency response system?
Yes, for every camp there ought to be response mechanisms to gender-based violation. However, in the internally displaced persons camps in Nigeria, we don't have this put in place. And it's a situation where anybody or any woman that is violated can go and report to. Some cases, they can also be treated and be given some aid to ensure that they are in proper shape. For example, when you go to Budumbra refugee camp in Ghana, we have the Ministry of Social Welfare established within the camp. So anyone that is violated goes there to report. And immediately after the report, necessary procedure will be taken to ensure that the woman or anybody is in good health, because the person is taken again to the clinic within the camp for treatment. And these are some of the procedures put in place so that every camp resident can be in proper shape. However, in Nigeria we do not have this, and it is very important for women and children particularly to have somewhere to report to when they are violated.
So now I'm curious to know, also you being a lawyer and a peace specialist, what would be your recommendation? Who are the people who should be responsible to actually implement this, and how can the international community do something, or if they're already doing something, what would you suggest?
In Nigeria particularly, the federal government needs to put it in place because by virtue of the provisions of the international instrument, it is the responsibility of the national government to put in place response mechanisms to gender-based violence in displaced persons camps. Now, for Nigeria, through NEMA, that is National Emergency Management Agency, the Ministry of Social Welfare can be established within camps where 2 or 3 staff of the ministry can come. For every state in Nigeria, we have a Ministry of Social Welfare. Staff from this ministry can be deployed to the IDP camp, maybe 2 or 3 of the staff, to respond to different types of violence or gender-based violence that is being melted against any of the camp residents. With that, we'll be able to take care of the IDPs that are violated. Not only that, it is also important that in the camp we have clinics where violated women or children can be treated.
And is the UN doing anything about that in their area?
Basically, under the international instruments, the UN, particularly the UNHCR, are for the refugees. That is when you have crossed the borders of your country. For IDPs, UN do not have a specific role to play more than what the national government can do. But we have some UN agencies that are already working. Like we have UNICEF on camps that are taking care of the education of children. We have UNDP that are also giving interventions. And what can be done is that these type of UN agencies can also help to train people, staff that can man the social welfare department to know how to respond to this gender-based violence when it is done against anybody in the camp.
And you visit the camps there, you know, like the hard situation these women are going through, and if you had to talk directly to them so they could maybe, I don't know, avoid or change their situation, what would you tell them?
Yes, there's a need for advocacy. There's a need for sensitization of the women to know their rights and to know how to take care of themselves. Meanwhile, they cannot do it by themselves. Some people have to come to their aid. And for this, I'm calling on International Federation of Women Lawyers in Nigeria to come to the aid of the women and children in IDP camps, train them about their rights, let them know what they need to do when they are violated, where to report to, the steps that can be taken for them. It is good that the International Federation of Women Lawyers are doing a lot of pro bono services to women and children. This is another area where they can be relevant. In Kenya, FIDA Kenya has done a lot to help in the refugee camps and IDP camps to assist women that are violated. And this is what Nigeria FIDA can also do.
And if the international community, like civilians, I mean like me or people who is in Brazil or people who is in England or any different countries, how could we help? What would be relevant? Because sometimes we see like many humanitarian crises going on in the world, and it's very difficult to know exactly what's going on in the field because there's so much media manipulation. So how could we actually help? Would that be like donating money to some organization in the field that's serious, or raising awareness? What's your opinion on that?
Yes, specifically that's what we do in my organization, because as a result of my researches in IDP camps, I've got to know some of their needs and I know that they need help. So presently I receive some goods, welfare items, food items from the public and take to the refugee and to the IDP camps where these are distributed. When we take these, we take record of whatever we have taken, and we also take appreciation letter from the camp to show to the donors that their resources have been adequately taken to those people that need them. And we can be reached by email, and welfare items can be sent to us. Our head office is in Llorin, Nigeria. And we can also supply our bank accounts in case you want to send money to help. What is sure is that you get reports of whatever you have donated, and for those that have benefited from them.
Thank you very much for your very clear explanation on that, and I think it's very relevant for people in the world who actually know someone that is working there in the field. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I will put here a Biola contact, website and email, so if you want to know more information about this, or maybe do a donation or talk directly with her, you're more than welcome. See you next time. Bye.